What's up YouTube, Jeff back again from DopeTechDaily.com. Today I'm super excited because I'm getting an early look at the Blackberry KEYone, bringing you guys an unboxing. I'll have a review very soon. Huge shout out to Blackberry for sending over this review unit so we can take a look. They also sent out this very nice To-Me case for the Blackberry KEYone. We'll take a look at that as soon as I get the phone out of the box. I'll show you guys how it goes in here, how the fit and finish of the case looks as well. As you guys can see, we got a little bug droids there in the background. I figured this white background's getting a little boring, so I figured I'd finally go ahead and set something back there also so I can test out the camera. So this is the packaging, very simple, very clean, very nice. So let's go ahead and just pop this open. I do have the unboxing knife here, so we can go ahead and get right in. Got a little plastic here on the bottom. Pop open the cover. And right here on the top, the Blackberry KEYone. So obviously a much different device than I've been looking at recently. This is definitely a different device than the Galaxy S8, the S8 Plus, all those type of phones. A very nice looking phone though overall. I'm going to take the plastic off the back here. You can see right here you've got physical keyboard for all you physical keyboard lovers out there. Very nice keyboard. This is a lot different than the keyboard cover that I did for the Galaxy S8. I do want to do a comparison of how the keyboard feels, but I can already tell it's much nicer. The back here, you've got sort of a soft touch matte back with the Blackberry logo, your camera, your flash. On the very bottom, you got USB Type-C. You've got a speaker. It's a single speaker there on the bottom. And of course, here you've got your screen itself. You've got your buttons here, your back, your home, and your recents. Front-facing camera up there at the top. Very premium feeling device overall. That's my first big impression of the phone. Let's go ahead and look inside here and just see what they've got. Probably some pretty standard phone box kind of stuff. You got some earbuds here. Let's go ahead and take a look at them and just see what they look like. Some Blackberry branding on the earbuds. They look all right, look pretty nice. I'll take a listen to these and see how they sound in the review. In the bottom here, we've got some extra tips in case you got a different size ear than the standard one. We've got power cable here, should be USB Type-C. And it is right there, USB Type-C cable. And you've got your power brick right there. Pretty standard stuff for a smartphone package. Now, right here inside the actual flap, you're going to find your documentation. Let's open it up and just take a look at what it says. Welcome to your new Android smartphone, Blackberry KEYone. And of course, as is obligatory, the SIM tool, but I've got a million of those, so I'm not going to worry about popping that one out. What I am going to do though is go ahead and put my information in the Blackberry KEYone. Go ahead and boot it up, give you guys a quick tour of what the software looks like, some impressions on the keyboard, and as usual, I will do a size comparison to the Galaxy S8 and the other popular flagships that are out there. We'll be right back and do that. Alright YouTube, I went ahead and set up the Blackberry KEYone with my information, set up the fingerprint sensor, a few other things. Now that I have the phone set up, let me tell you guys a little more about the phone, just looking around it. We talked about the build quality earlier. You got the power button over here on the left side. That's going to take a little getting used to for me. Of course, the keyboard there, as you guys can see. The space bar down here, this actually serves as a fingerprint sensor as well, so you can see right there. You can just tap that. The one thing to note is that you do have to tap it a little lightly, not press it in, because I want to press it in. Very light tap will open that up, no problem. You do have a volume rocker here on the side, right there. Convenience key, which is very nice. You can set this to an app that you like to open. You can ask it to do speed dial, send a message, any other shortcuts that you might like. One thing to note is that this does not take you home, so the fingerprint scanner doesn't double as a home button out of the box. You're gonna have to tap that soft key out of the box to go home. A couple other things. It does have 3 GB of RAM. It's got the Snapdragon 625, which is known to be a very battery efficient processor. I've been very impressed with it so far. You can see it's got 32 GB of onboard storage, 10.65 GB used out of the box, so not too bad for the operating system. You do have a micro SD slot, which is expandable up to a 256 GB micro SD card, which is very nice. 3505 milliamp hour battery inside the KEYone. So combined with the 625 processor, this thing should be an absolute beast. It's definitely not a thin phone by any stretch of the imagination. I'll show you guys some size comparisons here in just a second. It is a little thick, but I mean, you're getting that big physical keyboard, that big battery. Who really cares, right? You've got the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack on the top there as well. On the bottom, as I mentioned before, USB Type-C. Now, one thing that I know a lot of people have been asking about, and I mentioned this earlier when I was talking about the build quality, there's only one speaker down here. That's this guy right here. And this guy does not double as a stereo speaker. So you do not get stereo speakers. I know a lot of the specs on GSM Arena, a couple other places, they were incorrect about that. I did a couple of tests with a few YouTube videos, just watching a few of them. I can show you guys here, just to show you sort of what it sounds like.
Back again with another video.
So if you cover up this one,
I'm gonna announce the winner of the Huawei P10 giveaway, and I also got another giveaway. I got two.
you guys can see that's the only speaker. If you cover up the top,
now before we get started,
no difference in the sound output. So as we can see there, there's only one speaker. It's a mono speaker set up on the Blackberry KEYOne. I know a lot of people were asking about that. The camera on this thing is very impressive, or it should be very impressive. It essentially has the same sensor that the Pixel XL have. So just take a few pictures here. You can see the shutter speed, very, very fast indeed. Of course, the thing to figure out is going to be whether or not we actually have the software magic, the HDR, etc., kind of quality that you get from the Pixel and the Pixel XL. But just at first glance, the pictures look nice, good detail. Of course, this is under my studio lights, so at first impressions, they're going to look pretty good in that case. I'll take some low light photos in the follow-up. You guys can see the phone very, very smooth out of the box. Not much bloatware. You've got a lot of BlackBerry apps, of course. You can swipe from the side here, as you're probably familiar with, to get to your schedule. You've got your calendar, your whole entire BlackBerry hub, which is really nice. All the BlackBerry fans are going to be at home. I played around with the keyboard a little bit. This thing is actually very, very responsive. I do not like the keyboard case that I showed you guys for the Galaxy S8. It's just not responsive enough. It's not easy to type on. Even though I'm used to doing touch typing and swipe, this is a keyboard I could use. This is also capacitive, so you can scroll up and down using the keyboard as well. Talk a little more about that in my full review. Overall, a very nice looking phone. It's got Quick Charge 3.0, of course. Let me show you guys some size comparisons really quick, and then we'll look at the case that BlackBerry included just to see the fit and finish. Here's one of interest. This is the BlackBerry Priv. I have this phone, still use it as a work phone because I like the BlackBerry hub. I like the productivity features. This one, of course, full touchscreen, slide out. The keyboard on this one was not nearly as nice. You guys can see the comparison between the two. This one has a much nicer, more responsive feel to it. I think BlackBerry fans are going to be much happier with the KEYOne. Of course, I like the Priv, but the Priv had a few issues. It overheated a little bit. The wireless charging had some issues. You can see the KEYOne is a pretty much, I guess, same size phone, even though it's got obviously a smaller screen because you've got the built-in physical keyboard and it doesn't slide out. I guess it's actually perhaps a little bit taller, a little bit thicker. But there's a comparison to BlackBerry's most recent Android phone. The iPhone 7 Plus, always a comparison anytime I do an unboxing. People always want to check out how it compares. Obviously, the iPhone is much thinner, but it's also quite a bit taller, as the iPhone usually is. One thing to note is the BlackBerry KEYOne does have a 3:2 aspect ratio. So the aspect ratios are becoming a bit of a mess this year. We've got the extra tall aspect ratio on the Galaxy S8 and the LG G6. We've got 3:2 here on the BlackBerry KEYOne. And we've also got the 16:9 familiar aspect ratio on the other smartphones. It's getting difficult to compare the sizes in that case. Got the Pixel XL here. So just to show you guys a side-by-side, you can see right here. There is the BlackBerry KEYOne. It's a little bit shorter. It's really around the same thickness, not too much thicker than the Pixel XL, maybe just a little bit. The Galaxy S8, this is the smaller Galaxy S8. Obviously the Galaxy S8 going to be quite a bit more svelte, quite a bit more thin than the BlackBerry KEYOne. You can see there from the side profile, KEYOne quite a bit thicker, taller, and wider. So obviously if you want usable screen real estate, the Galaxy S8 would be a better way to go, but if you want that physical keyboard, you got to go with the KEYOne. This is a larger Galaxy S8 Plus. The Galaxy S8 Plus is taller, still thinner of course, and the KEYOne, the Galaxy S8 Plus is a bit wider than the KEYOne, pretty close in terms of the width. So obviously it's a battle of screen real estate versus the keyboard in this case. And then the last one here is the LG G6. You guys can see the side profile. The G6 is a bit thinner, and the KEYOne is a bit taller. The KEYOne also a little bit wider in this case. So that's just a comparison. If you're thinking about getting the KEYOne, you already have another phone, maybe you want to use this as your work phone or something like that. That's a comparison to the other phones that are out there if you're using another one of the flagships this year. The last thing I want to do is show you guys really quick the case that Blackberry sent, the To Me case. This is a Folio case, very high quality. It's got some leather on the front there, and it's a nice Folio style case. You've got some card slots right here on the inside. Put some credit cards. You do have on the back a nice hard shell protective cover, cut out for the camera, obviously. Cut out on the bottom, it's going to be exposed for your charging ports. And on the top, it's actually protected, but you've got cutouts. Let's go ahead and seat the Blackberry KEYOne inside the case here. We'll see how it feels. Just slide it right in like that. And that's how the KEYOne is going to look inside the To Me case. You guys can see right there with it shut, some nice To Me branding. This is leather right there. A nice sort of grippy texture on the outside. On the back, you've also got some leather with that grippy texture. It's going to be great if you like to sit it up on your console when you're driving. It shouldn't slide around too much. Soft material on the inside, not going to scratch the screen. Should give you decent drop protection and also pretty good for not getting scratches on the screen and also not getting scratches on the back of your phone. All right, guys, so I'll have a full review of the Blackberry KEYOne coming up very soon. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you did for future content like this. Find me at dopetechdaily.com, Google+, Instagram, and Twitter at the links in the description. I appreciate you guys checking out this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching.